Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election held in Nigeria on February 25, 2023, and the verdict of that election or the result of the election announced on March 1st, 2023. The results is being challenged by two major candidates, Peter Obi of the Labour Party and Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party. And these two candidates believe that the election was flawed, that the election or declaration of Alhaji Bola Tinubu as the winner of the election was done in error. They have presented evidence to prove that Alhaji Bola Tinubu's declaration as the winner of the election, that it violates Section 134, Subsection 2B of the 1999 Constitution, because Alhaji Bola Tinubu did not get 25% of the votes cast in Abuja, in line with that Section 134, Subsection 2B of the 1999 Constitution, which stipulates the conditionalities for anyone to be declared the winner of the election. They have also presented evidence to prove that Alhaji Bola Tinubu forfeited $460,000 to the United States government as proceeds of narcotic, which violates Section 137 of the 1999 Constitution, which stipulates the conditionalities for a presidential candidate to be disqualified from participating in the election. Okay, and there were so many other issues, but these to me are the key issues that they presented to show evidence that Alhaji Bola Tinubu ought not to have been declared the winner of the election. Then another one is the INEC violation of its own electoral guidelines, INEC's violation of the Electoral Act by not uploading the presidential election result real time as planned, as he said it will do, and in line with the Electoral Act, which made uploading of the result in real time on INEC IRIF mandatory. They didn't follow that on the day of the presidential election. Why they followed it by half, in the sense that they were able to upload the House of Representatives results and the senatorial results that was held at the same time, at the same minute, at the same second, at the same hour, with the same machine. When they get to uploading the presidential election results, all of a sudden, the BVAS machine could no longer work. It could no longer transmit. It's only in a country like Nigeria that is excusable. That is a very strong ground against the election of Alhaji Bola Tinubu. And then Peter Obi of Labour Party was also able to present evidence through one of his key witnesses, a professor of mathematics, who showed that Alhaji Bola Tinubu was a declared winner of the election with about 18,088 blood result sheets, which supposedly contained 2.5 million votes that was allocated to Alhaji Bola Tinubu, for which he was declared the winner by 8.7 million votes. Now, if you subtract that 2.5 million votes as demanded by Peter Obi and his legal team from Alhaji Bola Tinubu's 8.7 million votes, Alhaji Bola Tinubu's number will drop to 6.2 million votes, and he will no longer, for any reason, be the majority vote. Will no longer be the candidate with the highest number of votes cast in that election. Peter Obi and his team was also able to present that Peter Obi won River State and Benue State, and that if you add that one up, it means that Peter Obi will have about 14 states that he won. higher than any other candidate in that election. And it will also mean that the number of states won by Tinubu will drop down to 10 states. So that is the level we have reached. But we have entered another phase now, because Atiku, Obi, and Tinubu, they are now in a last showdown, because the tribunal has fixed uh, Tuesday, August 1st, for the parties, both Atiku, Obi, Tinubu, to present their for the adoption of their final addresses. So we are getting to the last lap of the fireworks over the February 25 presidential election, because it means that by Tuesday, August 1st, the 2020 February 25 presidential election might have reached its crescendo, as the tribunal settled for Tuesday, August 1st, to adopt the final written addresses of all the parties in support or in defense of their petitions. It's also expected of the tribunal to reserve judgment in the petitions challenging the declaration of Bola Tinubu as the winner of the election that was held on February 25, 2023. By law, the tribunal has 80 days within which to hear and deliver its judgment in a presidential election dispute. And the tribunal's days started running since March 22nd, when the petitioners filed their respective cases at the tribunal. Also, from Tuesday, August 1st, when parties were to adopt their final written addresses, the tribunal will have less than 55 days to deliver judgment in favor or against the petition, to prevent the case from becoming statute barred. And you know that would be dangerous. A situation where the judgment is no longer enforceable. Uh, that will never happen. We pray it doesn't. A five-man panel members of the justices of the Presidential Election Petition Court, led by Haruna Samani, had on July 5th announced that the date for the final adoption of the arguments will be communicated to the parties. He made the announcement shortly after President Tinubu, Vice President Kashim Shettima, and the All Progressive Congress surprisingly closed their case in the two petitions filed by Peter Obi of the Labour Party and Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party. A day before, the Independent National Electoral Commission had closed its case just after calling only one witness, who, amongst others, informed the court that a technical glitch occurred during the presidential election. Of course, you know the technical glitch they were talking about, that it was the technical glitch that stopped, that prevented the transmission of the presidential election result on real time on the election day. But the same glitch did not affect the transmission of the House of Representatives and the senatorial result that was held at the same time, at the same second, at the same hour, at the same day. This can only happen in a country like Nigeria, and it's being tolerated. Okay? So they claim that there were glitches, but the star witness that was brought from Amazon Web Services that provided the backbone, so to say, that provided the protection for the INEC website or for the INEC server, showed the courts or the election petition tribunal that there were no glitches at all. There were no glitches before, during, or after the election. So whatever happened was allegedly internal manipulation by the Independent National Electoral Commission. because the witness was able to show that there were no glitches. Even the INEC star witness, who is a deputy director in the ICT, the deputy director ICT, he couldn't convince anybody. No reasonable person was convinced by his presentation that there were glitches. In any case, if there were glitches, did they complain to the Amazon Web Services that provide protection for them? They never did. Or they claimed that there were glitches and they restored it. You restored it. Why didn't you allow the projection of the transmission of the results? No reasonable person would believe the presentation of INEC that there were glitches. When the men people that provide security, that they paid millions of dollars to provide security for them, Amazon Web Services. Amazon Web Services are the best security you can get in the cloud protection of servers all over the world. They are one of the best, if not the best. So if there were glitches, they will know. There were no glitches from the evidence that was presented. So that is an issue that I believe that was thoroughly dealt with by Peter Obi's star witness from Amazon Web Service. And INEC, Tinubu, and the APC, they had at the pre-hearing session stated that they will be calling several witnesses to defend the result of the presidential election. I hope you know that. Note that also INEC, Tinubu, and the APC had at the pre-hearing session stated they will be calling several witnesses to defend the result of the presidential poll. But when it was their turn to defend the election, while INEC and Tinubu called one witness each, the APC rather chose to adopt the witness brought by Tinubu and Shettima. Following the closure of their defense on July 5th, the Presidential Election Petition Court, in accordance with the electoral law, ordered the respondents to file their written addresses within 10 days, while the petitioners have 7 days to respond. The respondents, however, have another 5 days to respond to the petitioners' only point of law, if need be. Information from the tribunal over the weekend stated that Tuesday, August 1st, has been fixed for parties to adopt their final written addresses for and against the 2 petitions pending before the Presidential Election Petition Court. While Atiku and Obi, alongside their respective political parties, would have the last chance to convince the 5-member panel that the election that produced Tinubu was marred by irregularities, corrupt practices, and substantial non-compliance with electoral laws, and as such must be nullified and declare them winner. INEC, Tinubu, and the APC, on the other hand, also would have the last opportunity to establish that the election was free, fair, credible, and in addition that Tinubu was eminently qualified to have contested the election and to have won the election. But it remains to be seen how Tinubu will survive this, because the allegations and the evidence against him, to many of us who are watching from the sideline, look so overwhelming. His forfeiture of $460,000 to the United States government is evidence of dishonesty that you can find in Section 137. It's evidence of committing a crime that you can find in Section 137 that itemize conditions or conditionalities for a presidential candidate to be disqualified from seeking the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Then, that aside, the issue of forfeiture and money laundering that were associated with him in that particular charge that Peter Obi in particular made against him. That aside, you also look at the issue of certificate discrepancies, which was enough to annul any election, as happened in Bayelsa State when a governorship election was annulled because the deputy governor had inconsistency in his certificate forgery. So there were so many allegations of forgery against President Bola Tinubu that was tendered before the court. So how is he going to escape all that? Then there is also the issue of 25% in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, which has been literally like a settled matter. There were several Supreme Court judgments on it, including the 2008, where the Supreme Court showed expressly that the "and" in that section 134 is mandatory. It is not optional. And Tinubu did not get 25% there. And Peter Obi, in his last written address, through his lawyers, were able to show that it was wrong to assess section 134, which deals with conditions for somebody to be elected as president, with section 299, which is talking about treating Abuja as if it were a state, if it was a state, in the sharing of revenue in terms of administration. And it's clear, the Supreme Court have, several judgments have shown that the "and" in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, is conjunctive. So the "and" in in section 134, which states that for anyone to be declared the president or the winner of the election, the person must first A, get majority of the vote cast in the election, B, get 25% in 2/3 of the 36 states of the federation and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The Constitution said that the Supreme Court in several judgments have shown that "and" is conjunctive. If that "and" is conjunctive in 2008, in the judgment between Abubakar and Yaradua, is he going to mean a different thing now? Is the Supreme Court going to reinterpret the meaning of "and" now? Or is he going to stand by what he said it was in 2008, that it was conjunctive? In terms of the issue of forfeiture, the Supreme Court in 2014 in Mohammed Abacha versus the federal government, the Supreme Court was emphatic that forfeiture is evidence of crime. Is he going to turn around in 2023 and say that forfeiture is no longer the evidence of crime and describe it as a different thing? So the world is waiting. Nigerians are waiting to see what the court will say and to see how Tinubu will be saved by the court or otherwise. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.